Okay, this is the third video for Project 1 Mail Merge. In this third video, we're going to finish with step 7 from the last video, and then move on to the next steps of the mail merge word assignment. So to finish, what we need to do is to change the column width of the third column, property address, to 2.1 inches. What we need to do is highlight the column. So we've highlighted the second column, or the third column of the second table, and we go to the Layout tab in the toolbar and the cell size group and increase the width to 2.1. So just make that 2.1, and there you have it. Save it, Control Save. Okay, for step 8, what we need to do is merge the first 3 cells in row 5 of the second table. So here's the second table, merge the first 3 cells in row 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's row 5. We highlight the first 3 cells, and to merge, what we need to do is go to the Layout tab on the toolbar and look in the Merge group, and what we want is Merge Cells. So we click that, and it merges in the 5th row the first 3 column cells. Next, what we have to do is type total in the first cell in row 5. So first cell in row 5 is here. We type total and change the alignment of the cell to align center right. To do this, we highlight that cell and we're in the Layout tab, we go to the Alignment group, and we want Align Center Right. We click that, and it moves the total over. As you can see, it's right over here. Okay, now we have to move on to step 9. The first instruction for step 9 is to insert a function in the last cell on row 5 of the second table to total the service charges in the column above. To do this, we click on row 5 and this column. We highlight that, and what we need to do is insert the function or the formula. So we look to the Layout tab, which we're in, and we look at the Data group and Formula. So we click that to insert the formula. As you can see, it says sum above, and that's what we want to do. We want to insert a function that totals the service charges in the column above, so it's going to sum everything above. In addition, we want to focus on the number format. So right below, if you see formula, there's a number format. We click on that, and we want it to show a $sign. Right here, $sign. And 2 decimal places. So that's this one. We click on that, $sign and 2 decimal places, and we click OK. As you can see, it inserted the function to total this column. So now we have the $sign, 2 decimal places, and the total from the column, which is 1400. Okay, according to the instructions, now what we have to do is change the alignment of all the numbers in the last column of the second table to align center right. To do this, we highlight the numbers like that, and we need to go to the Layout tab, Alignment group, and Align Center Right. By pressing that, it's going to align all of the values towards the right. Okay, and according to instructions, the word service charge should remain centered in the top cell of the last column. As you can see, service charge is still centered. It's the heading in the top of the column. Okay, moving on to step number 10, we need to add another row to the end of the second table. To do this, we have the second table, we click on this row, and we want to add another row. So we're in the Layout tab. We go to Rows and Columns Group, and Insert Below. Inserts another row below the total column. Now what we need to do is merge all cells in the final row and type a phrase in. So to merge all the cells in the final row, we highlight that final row, and still within the Layout tab, we look at the Merge group and Merge Cells. We click that, and it merges the two cells in the last row. Okay, according to the instructions, now we have to type a phrase in. We type "Thank you for your business," and we have to include the period. We want to center the entry in the last row, so we highlight that, and we go to the Home tab in the Paragraph group and click Center. Alternatively, to center, we can highlight that information, and instead of on the Home tab, we can go back to the Layout tab and look in the Alignment group and click on the one in the center that's Align Center. Same thing. Okay, moving on to step number 11, we need to insert a row after the row containing file 75. So here's file number 75. We need to insert a row after this row. So to do that, we can either use Layout, Rows and Columns, Insert Below, or alternatively we can highlight that, right click, and insert row below. Now what we need to do is add text to each of the columns or fields according to the instructions. So what I'm going to do is pause the video, enter that in, and then start it up again so you can see where I'm going. As you can see, to the row we just added, I entered the data 77 for the file, service date 8/4/2016, property address 3324 North Hickory Hills Court, Nixa, and service charge of 100. Okay, moving on to step number 12. Now what we need to do according to the instructions is to update the total on the last row to include the new row information. To do this, we need to look to the Layout tab. Actually, first what we should do is highlight the total, because that's the cell or the field that we want to update. So we highlight in row 6 1400, and then we go to the Layout tab, Formula, in the Data group, Formula, and we click it. So what it's going to pull up is that formula option, and as you can see, it's still sum and it has the number format. If we click OK, it's going to automatically update the total from the column, because we've added the new column. Now we need to update the data. So by clicking OK, it should add the new $100 service charge to the total, and it should come out with $1,500 for the total. Click OK, and as you can see, total is now $1,500. Okay, to continue with step number 12, we need to sort the rows containing service charges by service date and then by service charge, both in ascending order. We do not want to include the header row, the total row, or last row in the table in the sort selection. So what I'll do is I'll do this step by step. Okay, first what we need to do is highlight the rows that we want to sort. So we'll click on the second table and we'll highlight this row, this row, this row. So all of these rows, and then what we need to do is go to the Layout tab. The sort function is in the data group, right here, data group, sort function, and we click sort. So it's going to ask us what we want to sort by. According to the instructions, we want to sort by service date. As you can see, service date is in column 2, so sort by column 2, that's service date. And what we want is ascending order, so that looks right. In addition, we also want to sort, after we sort by service date, we want to sort then by service charge. So as you can see here, we sorted by service date, now then by service charge. Service charge, as you can see, is in column 1, 2, 3, 4, so column 4. And that's also going to be in ascending order. Click OK. As you can see, the data in our table over here has been sorted by service date. The top two rows records are now 8.1, and the ones on the bottom are 8.4. So it's sorted first by service date, and then in the case where there are two records with the same service date, it sorts by service charge, and it's both in ascending order. So 800 and then 300, or 300 and then 800. Same thing with this, they're the same date, service date of 8.4, so ascending order is 300 and then 100. Now we're going to work on step number 13, centering both tables horizontally on the page. To do this, we need to first highlight both tables. In order to highlight both tables, we need to click for the first table in the top left corner, the box with the cross. And to highlight both tables, what we want to do is hold down the control key let me try that again. So it's control key, click. It's a bit of a challenge, you have to try to navigate. Let me try that again. So here's the bottom table, we click on that, and then we go to the top. Yeah, so we kind of just hover the mouse over the top corner, holding down the control key, and kind of searching for it. So basically we have both highlighted. Now we need to go to the Layout tab, and you may want to, save before. Just make sure you save. If you make a mistake, you can always press the undo sort, and it'll take you back one step. You can go backward and forward if you need to undo or redo your previous step. Okay, so we've saved, we've done that layout, and then what we need to do is we want to center both tables horizontally on the page. So we look to the Layout tab and the Table group, and we want to click on Properties because that's the table properties. It pulls up the Table Properties option. What we want to do is we want to center both of our tables. So we're in the Tables tab, we center, and then we press OK. and as you can see, it